Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Shaf, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Ultimate RPG Tarot Deck by Jeff Aldrich and John Taylor. Alright guys, thanks again for being here. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that recently I've been reviewing other cards other than sports cards. I should probably get a new map made. But yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing the Ultimate RPG Tarot Deck by Jeff Aldrich and John Taylor. And I'm going to be doing it based on this criteria. This is the box and the manual, artwork, originality, the quality, the symbolism and themes in it, and then the price. And all those are going to add up to a total score out of 100. But first, I'm going to flip through it so that we can all see what we're working with. There's a nice little slide off. The box fits very well. Here is the manual. Pretty thick to come in a box this size. Which, that's not a knock. I kind of like that. Take the cards out. Oh! Box is kind of falling apart. I wish there was an easy way to get the cards out. Okay. It just fell apart. That's okay. Get that back in there. Alright. Let's start off by looking at the back of the cards here. I like the way it looks. Yeah, the backs are pretty nice. They're new, so they're kind of sticking together, but they get worn in pretty quick, I'm sure. And I'll start to flip through some of the cards here, especially the major arcana I'll show us. Skipped one. Here's the one that's on the cover. I think they chose a good one to put on the cover. That's a nice looking card. What's going on here? I love that, you make your own deck of cards. You can put yourselves on as many cards as you want. I fully support that. Alright, and then we're on to the minor arcana. I'll go through these real quick. Yeah, that looks good, and it feels good too. So, first things first, we're going to review the box and the manual. The box looks classic. If you haven't seen what's considered to be like the classic tarot deck, some point I will pull that out and maybe do a review of that. But it very much gives those vibes. So this is a classic box. I love the simplistic colors of it and just how simple it kind of looks. It makes it feel like more old-fashioned than I'm sure it is. When did this come out? Somebody else has probably seen it way before me. Post 2016 at least, since they mentioned it there. But yeah, there's that. Obviously, this little thing didn't really work well on the inside, which is unfortunate, But you would have to be dealing with that every time you get cards in or out. I guess it could just fall out. It's not the end of the world. It's easy to go back in, but a little bit unfortunate. It feels like they saved on some costs right there. The manual, I love, except it's got this loose string in there. Maybe some quality concerns with the box and the manual, but outside of that random decision to have the cardboard there and this unfortunate piece of loose string there, which is kind of glued in, but the manual itself, the content of it is wonderful. So this first part is for people who are new to tarot. Just goes through it. And then at some point, they talked about how to incorporate tarot into your RPG games, your like D&D campaigns that you're running. And it gives you some ideas on that. So very good first part. And then the part where they talk about the cards, I love. They got a whole page spread dedicated to the cards, and then a whole page dedicated to the interpretation. That is incredible. Like, people can learn to interpret cards however they want, but if you're just starting out, you're going to want this page. I love that. And they have that for all the major Arcana cards, and then whenever you get to the lesser ones, it's a bit smaller pictures. They're not taking up 2 pages. I mean, this booklet would be huge if they kept dedicating all that space. So the manual is perfect. I love the manual. The cardboard was unfortunate. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of the boxing and the manual. The artwork, let's see. We'll start with the back. It's classic. It looks, I don't know what I was expecting, but it looks a little different. Normally, the back of tarot cards are like yellow. I kind of like the blue color, and then they've got alternating like D20s and pyramids on there. Actually, I don't think that's a D20, maybe a D10, but yeah. And then if you flip it around, if you look really hard, you can tell that cards are flipped, by looking at the corner and at the bottom. But it would take a lot of effort to tell that cards are flipped. And I probably put too much weight on like wanting cards to be perfectly symmetrical front and back. But I mean, if I am just doing it this quick, you can't tell when a card is flipped unless you're just watching the corner. So that is like 1 point off at most. But the back I do like a lot. It's got its own style. And then I was thrown off by the art on the front. It's kind of got like a cartoony anime feel to it, just a little bit. And I dig that. I'm not going to lie. I really like that. I assume this is like one of them. There's dudes with beards in this frequently. I have to assume that these are the 2 guys. I guess I'm not sure. It said they had a podcast, so this might just be from like a campaign they've run. I haven't listened to it. Maybe I will. I used to listen to a ton of D&D podcasts. But yeah, the artwork seems good. I mean, it's just basic, simple enough that it's easy to start to make your own interpretation of what's going on for the major arcana. And then the big thing for me, maybe this is getting into symbolism, but I'll just talk about it again. The big thing for me is these lesser arcanas. If it's an ace, I want there to be 1 of something. A 2, 2 of something. 3, you can see 3 sticks. 4 sticks. 5 sticks. If you count there, I'm sure there's 6 sticks. Like, it just keeps going up with it. That is important to me, and I appreciate that they included it. Starting over 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. So I really like that aspect. The art is pretty much perfect. I'll just take 1 point off because the back isn't technically symmetrical. You could tell if something is flipped. So I'm going to give this 19 out of 20. Originality. Originality is a confusing category because you want something to be original enough that it stands out. But at the end of the day, if you have a tarot deck, you want it to be a tarot deck. And cards like this, the lesser arcana, feel very similar to an original tarot deck. Just with like a little cartoony D&D theme to it. And I really enjoy that. And then the back is much different, but in a good way. So for originality, I really like it. I'm going to give it a 20 out of 20. Quality, I already took 1 point off, or 2 points off for the box in the beginning. And there's that little thread. But the cards themselves, like, they don't quite have the playing card feel, like the quality playing card feel of some other things. But they feel like totally fine cards. I can't really knock them at all for that. Like, these feel like they may bend a little more over time with use, but I can't knock them too much. I'm going to do a shuffle test. They're a little big. I said this in the last D&D. Like, I think this is an average size for tarot deck cards. So maybe it's not right to knock them. I prefer a little smaller card that's easier to shuffle. But I understand tarot decks are supposed to be like display and all that. And so maybe it's not right, but I took some points off for the last one. And I'll do it again until I revamp what's going on here. And my camera might die at any moment. So I'll try to wrap this up. Shuffle test, pretty good. I tried to shuffle it both ways. Maybe I forgot. But I always shuffle both ways so that you can see how, or, it'll fix the bend to the cards. But shuffle test, they did okay. Quality, I'm going to give that an 18 out of 20. And I'm going to pause the video here and change the battery in my camera. All right, next up, symbolism. By symbolism, I just always mean, like, how easy is it to draw, like, interpretations from the cards. So let's just look at this random one on the front. I mean, my goodness, that would be incredibly easy. And I love that they have the color themes as well. Like in some cards, the sky is yellow, some it's blue. Let's see if any are like red. Okay, they've got gray background. Yeah, oh my god, like look at that. These are just like I was saying earlier, they're classic enough that these cards remind you of normal tarot, and the symbolism is just, out of the roof. So it would be incredibly easy to draw themes from this. So I've got to give this one, it looks enough like original tarot that would be incredibly easy. That's another 20 out of 20. And lastly, I'll take a look at the price. What was it? $25. I said last time that $25 is about like the average for a deck of cards. And so if it's the average, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. I'm going to reserve 10 out of 10 for something that's like below average and still looks pretty good. But for $25, I'm going to stick with 7 out of 10. So real quick, I'm going to do some math. 8, 27, 47, 55, 65, 85, 92 out of 100. Which I think that is accurate. I do think I like this one a little more than the official D&D tarot last time. These are just like, it gives more of the original tarot deck vibes and still with the D&D like goal. So I really enjoy these. I think you should get yourselves a deck of these as well if you're a card lover like me. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you join me in the next one. Have a good day.